Hey guys, just going to pop up a quick preview for the Friday Twilight meeting at Devonport on the synthetic surface. Um, 8 races, rain on the true as it always is there, so not too much to report re the track. Smallish fields, which actually I might even just touch on that. Just seems very weird to me from the scheduling perspective to have last night in Launceston we had the Conquering Stakes and the 3-year-old Cup, which are both probably in the top dozen or so races in the state. And at Devonport, the Golden Mile is probably the second or third biggest race they have. Yet we run the meetings 2 days apart, and it just cannibalises the actual supporting card for both meetings. I just think whoever's in the scheduling side of things needs to extract the digit and use a bit of common sense. So anyway, I'll get off my high horse. The first, as I said, small field, on exposed form, Jurisdiction and GG St Nick look the ones. GG St Nick actually looked very good run when it resumed, hit the line very well. Just jury's out for me a little bit on that race. That's the only thing. I think he's probably going to start a silly price. Jurisdiction, you know what you're going to get. He's going to be on speed, making his own luck. So if I was to pick one, we'll go there. But as I said, there's not confident enough in either of them to take the likely price. I think Dubbo might also be an improver. The second, Classic Western is super honest, make his own luck. It's the one to beat. There are a couple from the trials that have trialled pretty well in He Swims Well and Sherborne Dynasty, so just sort of also just a bit reticent to take the quote. GG's Boy was also a little bit better last time. He was in the same race as I think it was GG St Nick last time and finished only a couple of lengths off the winner. But Classic Western does look as if he's found the right race, but once again there's going to be precious little value. The third, this is a red hot race. This for a C1 around Devonport. I reckon a few thought with the 3-year-old Cup on we might be able to sneak into a weakish C1, and they've all had the same idea. So, but if you just sort of got Brackenbury, who's obviously a huge query, had his past Cup, I think 3 runs in Hong Kong, previously trained by Peter Moody. He competed in some very handy races as a young horse. Taylor the Fox won on debut, then competed in a Saturday grade race at Doomben and started single figures, so that alone sort of shows what type of form it's got. Frog in a Pond, Gasnier, Jubilance, obviously horror draw. You're going to have horses going around at big odds. Top Draw, Miss Scandalous have both been okay at the trials, but I know I'm almost committed to him, but I've been on Gasnier both runs this time in. Pointed out his first run, he had no luck at all, and then last time he got held up for clear racing room round the turn in a race that everything with momentum ran first, second, third and fourth, back to 1,000. I think obviously it's very hard to line up the top couple, but I'll definitely be having something on again. I wouldn't be launching in at early odds just because there's a fair chance Taylor the Fox might be pretty good. So yeah, so hopefully we can get each way odds and just have something on Gasnier again. The fourth, the tricky, I'm working on the captain being scratched here as he ran second on Wednesday night. Wilby Rules is the interesting one here. Like his past 3 back on turf surfaces have been pretty average, but if we'll go to the Racing Australia site, so Ruby Rules, so track and distance, 4 starts for 4 wins. But as we can see, he went over for a Victorian stint in a couple of sort of pretty deep races. He wasn't terrible. It did disappoint a little bit last time in Launceston, but I think it's pretty simple. If the same horse turns up who was going around Devonport sort of 2 or 3 months ago, he'll just win, but still got that query on him. Spirit of Naya might be able to adopt its favourite role in front here, especially if the captain comes out. Tammany Hall's been honest this grade. Tara's Gem, very honest. The outside gate's a bit of a concern given the racing style. Son of Face Honest. And there's one here, Smokin' Whiskey. It's well suited. It's probably best suited over a mile, but it's actually its last run was actually pretty good. So just on the inside, I reckon it might be able to, settle 3 back on the inside, and it's generally not a bad place to be when they fan on the turn in Devonport. So just having something each way, Smokin' Whiskey in race 4. In the 5th, Weekend Whiskey was pretty dominant when it resumed over 1400. Got tired the last 100, but being first up, 1350, probably an ideal trip. It's got 61 kilos, but if we just have a look at the way the field is, actually not too far over the actual minimum. So, and when we look at the race, there's a lot of get back horses in there. So imagine he's going to get a pretty soft lead, or at least if anything does kick up, he'll be able to just sit outside and control the race. On the day that I'm probably not keen on anything, he's probably the one, but whether you want to take real short odds horse carrying 61, each to their own, but he'll be on speed making his own luck, maps well. So difficult to make a case for anything to beat him. The Golden Mile itself, really struggled with this. Pretty even lot. They're all going. Last runs for all of them are all pretty good, to be honest. Brilliant Jets, obviously coming back from touring the country with Aidan Nunn. Won at Moonee Valley last time. Wasn't the strongest race in the world, but obviously it still holds its own with this one. I was thinking Keenji, if the same horse, like we were around at 70 or 80 to 1 last time, where was it? Yeah, sort of $81 behind Magnassa, Chill Out, and it went as good as anything in that race. Just in a very even race. I generally like to shop for a bit of value, and Kenji might be the one. Drawn okay. But I expect them to be a pretty competitive race, the Golden Mile. The 7th, working on the basis, Axion scratched here as well. It's obviously at 1 last night. The 2 most likely for mine here are our Shanachie and Greenmount Lass. They actually fought out a race about a month ago. Our Shanachie was too strong. I'm just a little bit in the Greenmount Lass corner this time, primarily because of barriers. Like our Shanachie's drawn second from the outside, and Greenmount Lass is to race on speed. There definitely won't be too much between them. Flash Missile, whilst the couple of the others having their first go out to the 1880 trip, he's definitely going to run it out. So also right in the mix. Real Messy was okay last time. Western Front's one I've been following for a while, and it's super consistent. Just not sure it's got the natural turn of foot of a couple of others in the race, and Vandermeer probably next best. And so we get to the last, and another pretty even race. Like we pointed out, it's a battle last time. Anything with here, the 1150 might be just a touch too short. Similar to Wind Rider, they both sort of get back, run on types. It does appear to be a bit of natural speed in the race. Still Dan's ticking over well. Episodes, obviously, but as I said, so it's a battle. So one we might actually haven't shown a replay yet, I don't think. So we'll go to the last. So it's a battle. This race is over 1200 metres. last time in Launceston when it resumed. And where's white colours? So here it is, sort of second last. Actually, I've got the right one. No, it's the horse outside it, sorry. And you see it sort of gets shuffled back. Sort of like it's 3 wide being eased back. Now it's had no luck there for about 400 metres. I'll just watch the entire replay. And goes back to the inside here. And like it's going nowhere when it goes back to the inside. To be fair, the inside was the place to be this night, but it's just worth watching its last couple of hundred. And remember, you got Il Regalo here, who ran pretty well in the 3-year-old cup last night. Now even sort of runs out of a bit of room here. And then charges. Now, so even while it's 1150 metres, small field, it's drawn, pretty well. So it might actually settle in front of 2 or 3. So, yeah, very happy to be on It's a Battle in the last. So, as I said, there's going to be a few shorties. Forced to pick one of them, I'd pick Weekend Whiskey, but it'd probably go around without me at the likely odds he's going to get served up at. So at a bit of value, we won't be busting the bank on any of these. Mainly sort of like interest bets. We have Gasnier, Smoke and Whiskey, Kanji, and probably the last 2 are probably the ones if recommending a bet. Greenmount Lass and It's a Battle. So just confirming in each race tips, it was, I'd go Jurisdiction, Classic Western, but obviously not keen on those races at all, so I'll probably start betting race 3, which is sort of what, near 5 to 5. So, yeah, so forced to pick 3 bets, so we'll do it again. Gasnier in race 3, and then the last 2 races, Greenmount Lass and It's a Battle, all at a bit of value. And interest bets on Smoke and Whiskey, Kanji. And as we said, if you're looking for one as a banker, Weekend Whiskey in the 5th. So anyway, guys, we'll wrap it up there. Actually, I said I really like the time slot Friday night at Devonport. They should get half decent crowd. So I like the concept of the time slot for the meeting and everything like that. The only thing I just don't like is it occurring 2 days after a feature meeting in Launceston, which just, as I mentioned before, cannibalises the supporting card fields for both meetings. So we'll finish that with a number of small fields, and and that just means no value, means you don't bet in those races. So if you want turnover, you've got a program for it. Anyway, that's it, enough from me, and until next time, cheers guys.